Hi all, I'm BJ and I'm your instructor for the day. Today we are going to discuss about the data validation, and in depth we are going to discuss the various aspects of it. Uh, During the session, you all, in case of any kind of question or anything, you can go to your question screen and you can type that. And as and when I get the option, I will start answering those questions also. Could be possible in case some questions are left, post to the session, we can cover that. Uh, So to start with, as we all know that we are here together to discuss about the session on the data validation and the different techniques in depth. So starting with Excel, currently I'm using Excel 2013 on my screen. If you're using any other version, maybe 2007 or 2010, in case of any kind of difference that is going to come in passing the command or the detail or any kind of function usage, I will let you know. And as and when it proceeds, in case of any kind of question, do let me know using your question screen. That was a quick short introduction about me and what we are going to do. So starting with this, uh, during this session we will be covering various aspects of it, which you would have seen on the landing page of the Excel. Let me also quickly open up the content. Just give me a moment here. So if you see on my screen, these are the things that we are going to cover in depth. First, we'll be starting with the controlling and limiting the numeric data. Then we will proceed towards the pick lists, data controls, time controls, length controls, and finally we will do the specialized customized formula controls. So these are the major topics that we are going to cover over the next 1 hour. Starting with it, let me get back to the Excel screen, and you would find the data validation and the data handling techniques are mostly under the tab called as data. In this particular portion, if you see, the ribbon contains multiple options. The various options are towards managing and manipulating the contents, whereas there is this portion which shows data validation. This is the place where we can actually use for constraining or giving a particular kind of inputs to the Excel, the sheet. So whenever we send the content for an end user to fill it, or when we are passing on the contents to other, we can ensure that desired input has been taken. We can do the funneling of the inputs by this particular portion. This is called as data validation. When you click on the drop down, you get the detail of data validation, which says pick from a list of rules to limit the type of data that can be entered in a cell. So in case you want to know more about theoretically of it, you can just click on tell me more and that would give you the details. So let's start with today's session. So the first thing that we are going to cover today is how to set up a data validation. If you see on my screen, you would see three fields are there, three columns, which has a heading of item number, quantity, and value. Let's consider these item numbers are we are running an electronic store, and in that electronic store we have consumer goods like refrigerator, television, or mobile handset, and so on. So when you're selling any such products, you can never sell anything like a Samsung handset which you have sold for 1.5. So any quantity sold could never be in decimals or in fractions. So it should be a complete quantity. It could be either 1, 2, 3, 5, 10. So let's consider in our sales, we can sell any given product at maximum of 9 and minimum of 1. And the value, the price of that product could be a decimal. Uh, that should have the fraction part of it. Rest, we should go ahead and control the inputs by allowing the users only to consider the full quantity and being a limit of 1 as minimum and maximum as 9. How to go ahead and set up that? So we have to go ahead and click on this, where is the column heading where we see B written. Once we click there, we go to data tab, and under data we have data validation. Under data validation, we can see here we have three tabs there. One is the setting, the other one is the input message, and third one is the alert. So let me quickly try to give you an example of that. Instead of any value, we will just do a drop down and we will take a whole number. And as soon as we select whole number, we have other things also here. If you see decimal, list, date, time, text length, and custom, we'll check one by one all of them. So let's consider whole number in this example. Below to that, you have another drop down which gives you between, not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, and less than equal to. So during based on your criteria, you can make the selections. So for us, a between would be good one. Reason behind is we have decided that our quantity should be between 1 and 9. So let's take the minimum quantity, whole number quantity, as 1 and maximum as 9, and let's click OK. As soon as we do that, here if I go ahead and now type 10, immediately I'm going to get an Excel error message popping up in front of me. So all I can do here is I should have a figure or a number, whole number, that has been entered between 1 and 10. If I take 1, it would accept. If I take 9, it would accept. But if I take 10, it would just throw me an error. Now this particular error is pretty much confusing one, because we don't have any kind of message like why, what, or what is the restriction, or why the error is. So we will see how we can go ahead and do check that. Before doing that, let me also put the value portion of it. So let's go to the next one, highlight the complete row, I'm sorry, the complete column, and go to data validation, drop down. We can take decimals. Under decimal, if we know that our products, the minimum price is, let's say, 999, so we can take that and press 0.00, and the maximum we can take it as, let's say our any good would not cross 10,000. So let's take that, 10,000 rupees and 00, click OK. So here on, also in addition, we should go ahead and make the formatting. So let's make the formatting there. Let's give it formatting there of currency. So now if I enter anything which is, let's say, of less than 999, let's make it 100 rupees, and enter, it would throw me an error. However, if I enter anything 999, it would take the value. Let me just increase the size. The hash, whenever it comes, it refers to only two things. One is either it's a invalid way of formatting, or full item is not displayed. That's the way we can do this limitation. Now let's go ahead and check out the input messages, because if I show you an example here, as when I take 10 here, and as soon as I take 10, the output, the message which is alerting us that there is something wrong, is not pretty much clear. So let's go ahead and make it pretty simpler for the end user. So let's get into a next tab, and let's consider something of the salary. So let's fix this one and go ahead and click on data. Under data validation, let's make that somebody who is having salary, let the minimum salary be 40,000 and maximum be 1,30,000. And to make it easy for others, we can give an message there, input message, saying that, let's give a title for that, values should be between 40,000 and 1,30,000. So that's what we do. And now whenever I'm going to click on any of this between the ranges that I've highlighted, you'll find it would always give me an input value, input message, which would clearly show what I need to do. As soon as I go out of the cell, that disappears. Again, I come back, it shows me. In addition to that, we can also customize the error message or the input message by going to error alert. I have the selections here between stop, warning, and information. Stop would just stop you there, and it would allow you to, it would ask you to enter the correct value. Whereas warning would warn you, however, it would continue with the values. Whereas information is just like FYI. That means for your information, you can still continue with the wrong information there. So let's consider stop, give a title, error message, and please enter value between 40,000 and 1,30,000. So now if I go ahead and I enter something which is less than 40,000, let's take 20,000. It gives me the error message saying that please enter value between 40,000 and 1,30,000. That's the way the output would come up in front of you. I have option of retrying, and still I'm making an error there. And if I take a cancel, it will just go ahead, delete the value from there, and it will stand there itself. That's the way we can restrict. So that's the first thing we have done. And the alert message also we have covered, wherein just now I have shown you here how we can go ahead and quickly do the alert message. So the one which shows alert message here, you can, based on your criterias, you can actually select among this. Could be possible that you're in a scenario, it's fine to enter a value which is not matching the criteria. In that case, you can actually select warning or information. So that's what would be needed there. So that was the very first thing that would help us in setting up our data validation. Let's move to the next topic. So let me quickly go ahead and close this file. And post to the session, these files would be available at your disposal for practicing also. So you can use same. Chapter 2, under chapter 2, we are going to cover a couple of things there. The very first thing that we are going to use is creation of a list, a drop-down list. If you see on my screen at the right side, I have, just give me a moment, I have a question placed by Senthil Kumar. So just give me a moment. Let me just check that. So Senthil has actually asked me copying this value from some other cell and pasting it to this. It's allowing. It's not throwing an error. How can we avoid it? So Senthil, when we do a data validation, the data validation is not for doing a copy pasting from a cell or not typing a content. Rather, it's about selection from a list or the given criteria. So let me further show you the detail that would make clear of what you're asking me. So just give me some more time as we proceed. Yeah, this doubt would become into an confirmation where you would not have this kind of expectation where you just copy the content to others from another cell to a data validation. So let me just go through and show you the other details of it. And in case of anything else, I will let you know. So list. So list is something like a drop down when we go visit a website or when we go through a particular uh, application where there is only the limited way of entering the content. So let's take for example the status. Let's say these are the name of the employees in an organization, and we want to give them only the status which is displayed at the left hand side under column F, full-time, half-time, hourly, or contract. So in case I allow somebody to type, they can do is they can type full hyphen time. That could be one possibility. The other possibility would be full time, or they could have a leading space or ending space. And as a result of that, if you want to do any kind of further data analysis, that would actually hinder. In that case, you would not get a unique kind of input. So to restrict an end user from making their selections to a particular content, what you can do is you can highlight the cells that you want to put the conditional formatting. and then you go to data validation. Under data validation, you have to go to settings. Under settings, you have to select list. Once you select the list, you can go ahead and specify the region or the data that you would like to go ahead and display there. So let me go ahead and select this, which is full-time, half-time, hourly, and contract. Once I do that, I click on OK. And here on, if you see, if I drop down, I can see only full-time, half-time, or hourly and contract. So full-time, only full-time could be selected, or anything that is only among this. I cannot make any selection which would be different. If I just start typing it here, TEMP for temporary, it would immediately throw me an error. And to handle such kind of error, you can go ahead and you can customize the things by going to the data validation. Under that, input message or alert message. So in case of any error, you can definitely customize that also. So that helps us in doing this. Let's quickly go ahead and bring in the states also under the state. So I just click on states, click on data validation, and I make a selection of list. Under list, I go ahead and select this till end and click on OK. So now under this, I have states, the different states of US, and I can scroll through that and make a selection there, and definitely also the department. So when I do on the department, I do the same, and let me show you a quick trick there, a couple of things which should be a caution when we work out. Now when we are going ahead and selecting this, I have a question from Rupesh also. Rupesh, just give me a moment here. Let me just cover this. That would also answer your query. So I have selected department here. First thing that I wanted to say you here is as soon as we click on, we make the complete column for that particular list, we do see that the top also contains the list. So at times it's possible that it's okay, but at times it's possible that boss says that no, I don't want this kind of content. I don't want any drop downs to be displayed there. So what you can do is you can just highlight them, go to data validation, and you can click on OK and clear. So it's fine. If you see when I clicked on data validation the very first time, it showed me a pop-up. That was because of it was not able to recognize the contents are among one of the details there. So let's quickly select a couple of them here. And what I've done here is, if you see under states, I have actually specified the state as per the last census in US based on the number of people they are there. Demographically, people are staying there. So that's good. However, the major challenge that you are going to face is if you want to search Nebraska there, it would be pretty difficult for you to search that. So in that scenario, what you can do is you can go ahead quickly, click on the content and click on sort. So as soon as you do, Excel would throw up a warning in front of you, and it would ask you, would you like to expand the selection? No, I just want to keep it here. So I click OK, and now if you see, I get the content in the alphabetical order. So that makes pretty easy for me. If I go ahead and look for Nebraska, all I have to do is I have to go to N, and there I have to go ahead and search up my detail. So if I see here, Nebraska, and I can make the selection there. That helps me a lot. However, could be possible that you have a new entry like temporary. TEMP, let's consider that. And now if you see under full-time, half-time, under the status, I see that though I have entered the temp there, it has actually not considered it. So the best way what you can do there is you can click on this, click on shift and drag it on top of that. As soon as you do that, now the very next time you do, you will see the temp available there. So what it has done is it has included in the range that was specified there. So that helps me to add up a new content. Could be possible that you want California being one of the states which is frequently entered in your data. So we can apply the same logic there. We can just click on shift and take it on the top just below the Alabama. I'm sorry, below the states and above Alabama, and let's see what's the output says. We expect California to be on the top. However, let's see what it displays. And no, the California is not on top. What could be the issue? The issue is here that, as we discussed, the range was already specified and we have gone above. Previous example, we have taken the content below range and now we have taken it above range. So what we can do in that scenario is we can do the same concept there. That is, hold the shift key and take your mouse pointer when it becomes the four-sided arrow there. Just drag it below Nebraska and again click on Nebraska. Now you would see the content is available. California is below Alabama. I'm sorry, below Alabama. And now if I go ahead and bring Alabama below California, the California would appear on the top. So for example, if I come here, you see California. Being California most used, that becomes pretty easy for us to go ahead and work out there. So here I have also given a shortcut for you all to do a drop down of this. You don't need to definitely use your mouse. You can also use this all down arrow and that would start displaying. At a time, 8 contents are displayed, and that's what we can do there. Now there was a question from Rupesh Singh, where he asked that can we store the list data in another sheet and use it in another sheet? Yes, that's the next thing that I wanted to discuss about. And yes, absolutely, we can do that. And if we do that, all we need to do is we have to copy the content. That's what I'm going to show you here. I have already made the data list there. I can just copy this and click on a new sheet and go ahead and paste that. And this would start working for you. And this would be one of the very good way of working out. I'm just renaming the sheet there. So if you go ahead and move the content to another sheet, I'm sorry, I just didn't do a cut copy. Let me cut and let me paste it here. If I go ahead and do that, just a moment. So if I do this, this would actually give me more control of instead of people getting into this particular field and changing. Instead of that, now actually still I will have the contents available there, but not in the sheet, and as and when I need, I can keep on editing or doing the addition there. I can also go ahead and restrict the users by putting a lock on this by using the protection method there, which would be a separate session for you. By going ahead and protecting this particular sheet, that would need another skill. So not to be not prescribed in this particular one, because we are going with data validation, but we'll take a separate session on that. And also you can use the name range. That would definitely help you out there. So let me quickly go to the other sheet and try to show you how you can do a name range. Name range would actually help you in having more control on the contents. So let me highlight the complete detail there. So I highlight this and I come to this particular box which says range, and in this range I say status, status. And if I come here, I can definitely go ahead and put, I'm sorry, this is already there for practice, which I have already done. So let me just quickly go ahead, clean it up and show you how you can bring in the name range there. So I have just cleared it, and let's go to data, validation, list, and I just need to specify that as status. How I can do is I can press F3 on my keyboard. It shows me all the possible name range. I just click on that. It gives me equal to status, and that brings me to the content there. So that's the other way of doing it. Rupesh, I hope I was able to answer your query there. In case of any further clarification, kindly ping me there. So that brings me to the next topic, which is called as multi-list. At times it's possible that okay, let me also explain you that what I am going ahead and demonstrating you, the contents are listed here, as well as the formulas that we are using for practice purpose. I have kept it for you all there. So this is another sheet where we can go ahead and work out the data validation. And as per this particular sheet, if you see, I have states and cities there. Now, we have learned that how we can go ahead and add up the list there. However, there would be situation when based on your selection, the respective content should come up. So if I go ahead and select AZ, which is Arizona, then only under city I should view the contents which is there in Arizona, the cities which are falling under Arizona. California, then in that case Californian cities should be displayed. So let me quickly go ahead and walk you through how to do that. Let me just increase the size of this. Okay, so first thing is we will do first thing first by adding up a list there. So let's add up a list, and then the source would be there's all US states. So I highlight that. Now what I get here is Arizona. I can select California. And when I'm going to go ahead and add up the city there, whatever I'm going to select here, respective cities should be fallen. So kindly pay attention there. You can quickly view this. That is all I need to do is go ahead and select the contents that I have here. I do a selection there. And as a couple of moments back, I've shown you how to make a name range. We'll go ahead and make a name range there. And there is a quick way available under Formula tab. You can click on Create from Selection. Let me just cancel that. When I highlight this, you would see the shortcut there, which says Control Shift F3. If you press Control Shift F3 or click on this, it will pop out a new window in front of you, and our headings are from top to bottom in the rows. So we will make it unselect the top rows, rather we will take left columns. This is what we have heading here, and we click OK. As soon as we do that, you would find that the name range shows, the name manager shows all of them listed, and all of them have actually become the contents which contains all these details. If you see here, it's all selected there. So let me quickly go ahead and now show you how I can go ahead and make the changes. I come here, click on the city, go to data, go to data validation. Under data validation, uh, let me go ahead and make selection as list. And as soon as I make selection in list, instead of taking the direct name range, there is a function called as indirect in Excel. And that's what actually I have specified to you all here, which says indirect A1. So what we are trying to do is based on the cell A1, A2, A3, I'm going to say column, the respective output to be displayed. So I'm going ahead and doing that. Just give me a moment. So I have data validation. I make it as list. Under list, I make the formula as equal to INDIRECT, indirect, of A1, closing bracket. Now what happens is whenever we write a formula, we are allowed to write a formula here. So whenever we write a formula, usually we give the very first cell highlighted there, and as and when it's moving down, the particular formula contents would also keep on moving, changing the cell. So let me just quickly click OK there, and it would again throw the same error. A couple of moments back we say we have seen there. It says the source currently evaluates to be an error. Do you want to continue? Yes, because it is not matching with the definition that we have given. So it's pretty much okay. We can click yes. And as soon as we do that, I have Arizona here. So the respective city would be, I can take anything in that, which is Chandler, Gilbert, Glendale, and so on. So the respective value would come up there. If I take California, I again get is the Californian city, which is there in the list. Fine, let's take one more and let's make it NE, which is Nebraska. So let's see where it is, because that would help me in showing you a particular additional details. As soon as I select that and I do a drop down, I actually see, Yes, Karan Gupta has actually asked me a question there. Is this feature exist in Excel 2010 as well? Yes, this feature also exists in 2010. This is common since Excel 2007, and Excel 2016 also contains exactly the same way. So Karan, I hope that answered. So if I go ahead and drop down in front of Nebraska, I see it blank. And if I go up, I see the content. Because Nebraska only contained the two city and remaining all blanks have come up there. Now, this is not pretty much convenient there because I don't want to see a blank and I don't need my end user to search my content. So what we can do there is we can quickly do a small trick there that helps to clean up all those things. What we can do is we can highlight the content that we have. You can take extra also, that doesn't matters. And once you do that, you can go to home ribbon, and under home ribbon right hand side you see a big binocular there. You can just drop down there and you could go to special, and under go to special you have blank option there. Just click on that. What this would do is as soon as I click OK, it will select all the blanks there which we have. And now we can do a quick trick there. We can make a right click and we can say delete. As soon as I click delete, I don't want to move them up, rather I want to move them left. So I click OK. And now if you see the details there, if I go ahead and click on Nebraska, it's only going to give me the values there. Again, if I go to California, it's not going to show me any blanks there. Whereas if I go to Arizona, it don't show you any blanks there. So that's the way it goes. Anything I select, this would go ahead and give me the details. If I take Wyoming there, and Wyoming has only 3 cities there, so it would only give me 3. And at maximum, by default, a drop down shows you uh, 8 of them. So it's always better to remove the blanks. That helps us a lot. And Indrani just passed down a comment there. Thank you, Indrani, for that. She said superb. Yes, this is one of the trick which actually makes end user life pretty easy. So that brings us to end of the second topic. Quickly covering that. I have another thing there. If we wish to add 2 to 5 more cities in the selection, uh, just give me a moment here. I'm getting a couple of comments coming up there. The first one is from Amit Ranjan, which says, if we wish to add 2 to 5 more cities in the selection, yes, you can go ahead and add up 2 to 5 more contents. However, as I explained you that time, let me just give you the details. If I go ahead and add here, it will not automatically, when I was explaining you the full-time, part-time just a couple of moments back, which would be here, the parameter sheet, when I added the temp, it would have not taken it automatically. All I needed to do is just toggle the things, and that would actually go ahead and add up the content into my list. So Amit, I believe I have answered that. Any further question, do ping. Uh, I'm just getting a couple of pop-ups there, so just give me a moment here. Next is Indra S, wherein Indra says, could you please repeat once? I will do that. If there is next question is Hari, who asks if we enter value in deleted cells. So as I informed to Amit, if you enter value in deleted cells now, then you have to make it into the range. So in that case, you have to just toggle the content, or you can do is you can give a blank space there and enter the content. That would be another way of doing it. I have Hari. Will it populate in drop down? Okay, the same question there. So Hari, it would not automatically pop up. Let me just quickly give you an example there. So let's take something like, yes, Wyoming is there, and I just go ahead and add up here as X, Y, Z. I don't remember the city. And to make it ensure that it comes in, I just hold the shift key on my keyboard and just drag it before Milwaukee. It comes in there, and now if I go ahead and select this in Wyoming, I would get Milwaukee also. Above Milwaukee, I will get XYZ there. So that way you can quickly edit it. Uh, Let me see any other questions I have missed on. Yes, Amit, the process would be same. Will it populate? Okay, I have answered. So the last question that is left is Indra. So Indra, as you asked me to repeat this, I will just go ahead and quickly delete the contents from here. And I will also remove the name ranges and quickly show you that. So just give me a moment. Data, validation. I clear on content from there. No data validation left. Uh, and I go to formulas, I go to name manager, I select all and I click on delete. So I've removed it. So to quickly do this, what I need to do here, Indra, is I need to go ahead and select on the range that I want to put the content into. I do that, select the range, create from name selection, remove the top row because the headings are at the left. I click OK, highlight the complete column there. And once I highlight that, I go to data, validation, uh, and then I select list. As soon as I go to the list, I just come here and type in equal to indirect, indirect, and then I say A1. That's what I do, of A1, and click OK. Now it just pops up an error message. It's fine, it's a warning. So just click OK. And as soon as I come here, the Arizona contents are available. Now the blank space that we need to remove. So again, we highlight the details, go to home, the binocular, go to special. Under special, we have blanks. Click OK. It highlights all the contents which are blank. I just go ahead, right click, and I do a delete there and make it a left. Click OK. So now I will not get any of those blanks coming up there. I hope, Indra, that helped you. To repeat, I have another question, I think. Can we create a drop down with two cells? For example, if A1 contains IND and B2 contains India, the first element should be India dash IND dash India. Can we create a drop down with two cells? Okay, sure. Karan, we'll take this as we are proceeding further because this all would be covered. So just give me some time to explain the contents, and I am very sure this should help you. So let me move to the next topic because we are moving towards our mark and we have the contents also. Just give me a couple of moments. As and when I cover, uh, Karan, you will get the result there. Okay, how to sort alphabetically, Neil has asked me there. So just before getting out of this, I would just show that also. As I was showing in the previous one, this is the list, and here I have made the states based on the demographic population distribution. So all I want is this should be in the alphabetical order. So in that case, all we need to do is highlight the range and go to the sorting function, which is at the also at the right hand side of your screen under the home ribbon. I filter, I click on A to Z, and it asks me a question there, which asks, should I expand? No. Continue with the current selection, click on sort, and that does it. So Neil, if I now go ahead and drop down, I get all those things sorted. Now in that case, if I have California, which is going to be my frequently used, I will just highlight that, click on shift, move it to the top, but it would not immediately come because it has gone out of the name range. So all I need to do is click on California again or click on Alabama again, hit on shift, my mouse pointer changes, I put it on top, and then now I bring Alabama again one down. These are the few tricks we have to follow there to ensure that we get the details there. I hope that helps. Okay, Neil, you said that that was vertically. Is it possible sideways? If you would have worked with Excel, then in that case, you should know about that. The sorting is the column based. In case right ways you have to do, you have to first do a transpose, get it sorted, and then again bring it in the required format. Uh, I have few more questions popping up. So let me just answer one or two and then proceed with the next topic. And I'm very sure the next topics will bring in much more questions for you. So can we display the first value of the city by default? Uh, Let me cover the contents. You would definitely get the outputs there. So just hold on your questions, Vamshi, and others also. Let me just move to the next topic, and any questions which is not answered, we can get it answered post to the session. In interest of time, I'm just moving to the very next topic. Let me close this, and this sheet would also be shared with you as it is. So let me move to chapter 3, and the chapter 3 brings us with date and time control. At times it becomes pretty possible or pretty important for us to go ahead and add up the contents accordingly. So could be possible that I have this detail, and my order date is like 13th January 2015, and I don't want anybody to make the shipping date before that. So what I can do here is I can quickly come. I can also make a date control there by going to data. First, I have highlighted the column. Go to data. Under data, I go to data validation, and I do date. Select date, and starting date would be, we don't want anything to be 13 before 13th. That's the first shipping date. I'm sorry, the order date. So mm, let me just quickly go ahead and make it. So the first date I will be putting here is, it should not be below 13-01-2015, and it should not be it should not be after 31st December. So I would do 31st 31-12-2015. Now this gives me a flexibility to ensure that, and yes, you should give the input message and all those things, but this gives me the flexibility. So let me just go ahead and show you. I make it 12th of January and try to enter a content there. It would throw me an error. But if I make it at 21st of January, I'm just transposing the dates to 015, it would accept. Again, same. If I go ahead and make it anything after 31st of December, so 0101 to 016, it would throw me an error. So that was the basic content of it. Let's move towards how we can use it efficiently by using the conditions there. So that's my next topic, that is date formulas. And if you see here, I have kept the condition. We have seen that order date is actually the least date we have there is 13-01-2015, 13th of January 2015. And the condition that I would like my end user to have there is the shipping date should be always be 2 days plus from the date that the order is shipped, and I cannot make any shipping on Sunday. So those are the two conditions, and yes, you can go ahead and do that. The method is again same. Let me just quickly show you the formula by increasing my screen size. Before going there, I will just quickly go ahead and show you how you can write the formula. Writing a formula inside data validation and inside Excel is almost the same. So just give me a moment here. I click there, I go to data validation. Under data validation, all we need to do is we have to drop down and take custom. Under custom, as soon as you do, you get here the formula option coming up, and that's the place you write a formula. Now let me quickly show the formulas that I have kept in store for you all to match this criteria. This is at this cell and this cell. So my first condition that I want is my date should not be less than 01/01/2015. It should not be less than 31st December 2015. It should have plus 2 days of shipping date, and it should not be a not of Sunday. That's what I'm trying to do here. So all these things we can actually put it. I just got another pop-up there. What if someone uses other format of date in specific date range? Using a date range in any format would be okay. So that should be just a date. That's what we are considering here. Instead of 13-01, if it was 13-Jan-2015, Amit, it would have been fetch me the same content, because dates are considered as numbers in backend, so that should not be a problem. And that's also covered in one of our module that has been designed for date and time function. That would help you to understand better about how we can have the different formats, still the output to be same. Coming back to the topic, so this is my first formula that I wanted to explain you. And here I have taken an and then I say my content in C1, that is the shipping date, should be always greater than or equal to 1st January of 2015, comma, my ending date should be the last date of the year, and then I say that it should be also plus 2 days. So I have kept that for you. Let me quickly write that formula for you. So I go here, click data validation, and Amit, I hope I answered that for you. So I go to data validation, I go to custom, and under formulas I click on equal to, I write and as our formula is there, and of, we wanted C1, which should be always greater than or equal to, and then I have a function in Excel which is called as date, D-A-T-E, date of. So I have to type the bracket open, and that whenever I use this, I have to specify in a particular format, that is number of year, which is 2015, comma 01 or 1, either ways we can take, or 01 again, or 1, comma, the second condition, this should not be greater than your end of the year. So let's copy this entire thing, put it here, and make it as less than. Let me just copy the content there. That will make easy, and let me explain you the content there. That would help us. So I go here, do a validation, I come here, I make it as custom formula and just copy and paste the formula. So now let me explain you the formula. First part I have explained you, so this should be, second part is a C1 should be less than date of 2015 December 31st, and then I say that C1 should also be always greater than B1, which is this one, as we wanted plus 2 days. So I just click OK there. It again throws up that formula. It's pretty much okay. I can just click OK there. And now if I come here and try to enter anything which is less than 2 days, so let's not take 13 because that's the first, let's take 17, so 2 days would be 19. Let me do something here. Let me try to put 18 January 2015. It would throw me an error. Okay, let me make it 19 January 2015. It would throw me an error. It wants 2 days more. I'm say greater than or equal to 2 days. So it is 20-01-2015. It takes there. Again, if I put anything less than this date, that is 17th. So anything before 1st January 2015. So let me put 31st December. Amit, if you see here, I'm just doing the format change there. December 2014. It again throws me an error. The other format also it is considering. So here I have a restriction. My last condition is it should not be on Sunday. There is a function which is called as weekend. I'm sorry, weekdays. So if I select that, and which I have kept in the second one, which says if I add a function there and I say that weekday C1 of not equal to 1. So when we use weekday function, 1 stands for Sunday, 2 for Monday, 3 for Tuesday, and so on, whereas 7 stands for Saturday. So that's what I have done. So let's copy this content, go back to our data validation. I put a data validation. Okay, and I go to end, or rather let me completely copy the formula, and I come here, I go to data validation, I click on this, I highlight the complete content there, remove and just add up my complete formula there to match the criteria. Click OK. I'm pretty much okay with that error, and just go here. So let's see which was the Sunday there. Let's go to our date and let's go to January. So January 13th, and after 13th we have 19th, 18th as a Sunday. So if I go ahead and put it here 18 dash 01 dash 2015, it would just throw me an error. But if it is 20 dash 01 dash 2015, it is pretty much fine. You can also come to a point where we select something which is a leap year. Let's say, let's see, and we know very well that 2015 was not an leap year. So if I try to go ahead and enter a date which is not a calendar date in between that, let me give an example there. So 02-2015, and it would throw me an error. An invalid date would also be not considered. So that gives us a flexibility to tightly control rather the date functions that are available there. So by mistake also, end user cannot take a wrong shipping date or value. So that brings us to the end of the third topic. So anybody having any question, kindly post. And meantime, let me proceed to the next topic, and that would be our fourth chapter, and which is about the time format. Absolutely, how we have controlled the date for a purchase date, order date. Same way we can go ahead and control the time format there. Okay, so Prakshit, Prakshit, I'm sorry, Pratikshi, I might be pronouncing your name wrong, but has posted a question there. Formula for weekdays. So weekdays is a function. If you go to Excel and just type equal to an week, you get that weekdays, week numbers to function. So weekdays, as soon as you select, you have to specify the content where you want to get, and it would return you the values. That would help you to find out which day of the week is that. That would help you. I hope that answered your question. Let me move to the time format. So I can also go ahead and select this range, and I can ensure here that my sales team works only between morning 8 a.m. to evening 5 p.m. So any sales which is possible, whichever is possible, should be always between this time only. So what I can do is I can click on this. I can go to data validation under data ribbon, click on data validation, drop down, go to time, and here again I have those options. So here I wanted to make it between 8 a.m. so I make it 8:00, and I make it as 17, which is 5 p.m. 17:00. I could have also written there 05 or 5:00 p.m. That would have come up there, but I'm too used to 24 hours format, so I've just taken that. Click OK, and now if I put anything as 7:00, which is equivalent to 7 a.m., it has not taken. And if I put it 8:00, it would consider as 8 a.m. It has taken. Same if I want to put anything post to 5 p.m. So what I do is I make it 6 and type P and hit enter. It will not take, because by default if I type it 6p, it understands as 6 p.m. there. For example, you would have seen that flicker, but let me just show that 6p. If I type, it gives me 6 p.m. so that would not be desired output. If I put 4p, is going to take there 4 p.m. That's what we get. Now the next thing is how to go ahead and put the time formula as we did a date formula there. So I have given a quick condition there. I hope there is no doubt till now. If anything, kindly post me that and I would be happy to answer that. So my condition here is, if you see, I have specified the time should be between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. and it should be at a regular interval of 15 minutes. So something like this, I should be able to enter 8 a.m. I should be able to enter 8:15 a.m. but anything 8:14 or 8:13 or maybe 8:16 should not be considered. And again, it goes till end till up to 5 p.m. This should be the condition. So 15 minutes interval. You can also consider here 30 minutes or 45 minutes or as you wish, because it depends from person to person, the conditions based on your criterias. So here again I have done is, for your ease, I have kept the formulas here. Let me put a space that would be easy for you to see the formulas there, and also again the second condition that I have done. So as soon as I put a space in front of equal to, it consider it as a text string and keeps it there. So there is a very beautiful function in Excel which is called as mod. Mod tries to give us the remainder of the value. So if you see my formula there, what I did was I did is minute of the cell comma 15. So I wanted to divide it by 15. When comma 15 came, I also added up the mod there. So mod minute of cell C1 comma 15. So whatever is the minute, it would try to divide by 15. So 15 divided by 15 would give me a remainder of 0. 16 divided by 15 would definitely give me a remainder there, which would be actually not equal to 0. So the condition would go there false. And again, a remainder of if it is 8 13 also, it would be not 0, whereas if it is 15 30 is divided by 15, it would be 2 and remainder would be 0. 45 would be 3 and remainder 0. That satisfies our condition. And also the AND condition I have added up as we have done in the previous example, and we have specified with the time function, time between 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. So that's what is our formula. Anybody having doubt on this formula, please do let me know. Please ping your questions to me. So what I do is I just go ahead and copy this formula. Writing a formula in Excel or writing a formula under data validation is all same. You can use exactly the same formulas there. So I do a data validation, go to custom, and I select a formula there. That is what I have already copied. I copied there and I have put there. I click OK. So let me just quickly show you an example there. I come here and it's equal to 8:13 a.m. I'm sorry, I've given equal to there, so it's considering as formula. So where can we use there is a question from Sumit asking that where we can use the mod formula. Mod formula could be used in any kind of condition where you want to find the remainder, and that would help you to take your decision based on remainder values. So that's the use of mod formula. So let me just quickly show you an example there. 8:13 a.m. So I don't need to write AM PM there. It is not going to take because we want equally divided. So if I again take it as 8:15, yes, it has taken. 8:45, it will take. 9:30, it would take. 9:39, it won't take. So we have to accordingly we have to use this error message to guide our end user to know that they should give the intervals of 15 to give the output. And Sumit Sharma, I hope that gave the answer. In case of more details, you would like to know mod function, you can let me know. I will be happy to answer you on that, or you can even Google and that would give you the required output there. So I move to quickly to the next chapter, that is chapter 5. I'm not saving this, and I would also share this particular file for you all. The third one is about the text function that we use, and here personal number, we have three criteria there: personal number, employee ID, and phone number. For sure, in India or in US, we know that phone numbers are of 10 digit. So we can make the quick formatting of that by highlighting this, press Ctrl 1 on your keyboard. That's the shortcut for bring the formatting there. I can go to special formatting. I select here US because that has the required things that I want to do there. So I take the phone number there, which is of 10 format, and personal number. Let's consider personal number as social security number, which has a format of 9 digits. So let's make it as again Ctrl 1, go to special, click on social security and click OK. So now anything that I'm going to enter there, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and it converts to a particular format. However, in this, if you see there is no dash, the formatting has been taken accordingly. Again, if I go ahead and put a phone number, that is let's say 988674389 and hit enter, that changes. However, that don't brings me to a condition where instead of 10 digits, if I would have added up a few more digits like 989899, it takes the complete value, and that's not solving our issue there. We need to have to be very precise there. That is, my function should contain 9 digits or 10 digits, and that should be accordingly. Same, it goes for a condition here where I can give that is my employee name should be of 5 digits, and same I do a conditional formatting there, and it could be of the characters there. I can decide on that. I will show you how. I can also do one more thing here is I click on this, go to data validation. I can come here, click OK, and yes, that's what I can fix the length. So if I fix the length to 9 and click on OK there, it would give me only 9 digits. So let me put it there and hit enter. It would throw me an error, anything above 9. But if I put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, it would accept. And if I put anything less than 9, then also it will throw me. However, it is not making me completely bound by checking that if somebody would have entered a character there. That could be a condition. Somebody adds an 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, that would actually take there. So here again we can take advantage of text formulas, and that's what would come as an quickly handy for us. So I move to next, and I have just kept a couple of examples there so that it becomes easy, and I have also kept the formula and the condition for your reference on the right hand side of my screen. There, when you get this particular file, you would be able to use them as a reference. So here if I see I have data validation done, yes, and data validation says 9 characters, very fine. If you see, this is a number. However, if you see here, the last second but last digit is actually a character. It's O, it's not 0, and that means it's a string, it's not a number. Our function should be able to trace that. So there is a formula, or there is a function in Excel which is called as isNumber. What we can quickly do here is equal to I as is number number, and I take this. If I go ahead and close the bracket and hit enter, so as it's a complete number, it's showing as true. But if I go down, it's giving me false. Why? So here it is, O is there, and here if you notice, between two twos there is a capital I or maybe an L there. So that's what is the constraint there, and I wanted to make them fixed as length of 9. So there is another function in Excel which gives me len. Len stands for length of a character string. So I can put here, close that, and it gives me 9. So luckily I have 9 on all of them. Let me drag the formula down. Yes, I have 9. Fantastic. So I have the required conditions. All I need to do is now I should put it in such a way, the conditional formatting, I'm sorry, data validation in such a way there that it selects only numbers you are allowed to enter there, and it should be minimum of 9 characters. So what I can do here is I have actually written that formula for your reference there. First I have kept the left off, right off, and I have done the formula. So this is the formula. It says, as I did is number, I have put is number of cell A1, length of A1, and it should be equal to. So, and condition is also there. So if it returns is number is equal to true, and then it returns equal to 9 of length, then only it will allow us to enter the value. I copy the content. I quickly go ahead and click on this, go to the data validation. I click yes, and instead of text length, I take custom and I just enter the formula. The formula clearly says it is trying to check both the conditions to be true. If it is a number, by checking is number and A1, comma, the second condition is length of that string, and it should be equal to 9. If both the conditions are returned true, then only it is going to accept. So let me make it okay. Now, there was a question by somebody if the value already is there. Yes, see this particular condition here. The value is already there, and this particular data validation is not going to work out there. We have to check out whether the value is correct or not. So in that case, I press F2, And now if I go ahead and press enter, it is going to throw me an error. So the only way to correct that is click OK. I would say just hold on for some more moment. I would also show you how you can find out which all cell contains the invalid data validation, because data validation gets implemented from the time you put it. Any values entered before that would not contain the would not comply to data validation there. So I just hit enter there and it has taken that. Again, I have an L or I there, lowercase l or uppercase I between the number twos there. So I do a F2, and if I try to hit enter, it would not accept. I make the change there, maybe any other number, or I put there 9. Now it would accept. And as you see, the formulas are also changing there. That helps us to do this. Second thing I wanted to explain you is I wanted to have a condition here which says employee ID should be of 6-digit or 6 characters long, and first 2 characters should be always either 1 or 2. So the quick formula for this is the quick conditions that we can take up is len, to find the length to see whether it is 6 character long, and there is another function called as left. So if I go ahead and use the left function, the left function would tell me how much how many characters or what are the characters at the left side. So if I give you an example here, I will take left of, I ask for the text, this is the string, and I want to return first 2 characters. So if I make 2, is going to return 1b. If I would have done there 1, it would have taken first character only from left, that is 1. And that's the way this particular character goes, or this particular function goes. So I quickly go to the function that I have written for you all here, and that is as per our condition here. So what we wanted to check, the length, that is length of E1 should be equal to 6. It should not be more than 6 or less than 6. Any employee ID which is more than or less than 6 should not be allowed. So minimum or maximum length of employee ID is 6 characters, and it should have anything which is less than or equal to 2. That means either 1 could be their starting number or 2 could be there as the starting number. So that's what. And the end condition, the and condition ensures that both the contents are considered. So I copy this and highlight this particular one and go to data validation under data tab. Quickly go ahead and change it to custom, and again I write a text formula there and click OK. So as soon as I do, as I said, if there is any content which is already there, it would be not comply. If it is not complying to data validation, it would not throw you error. However, if I do a double click or try to change anything and try and enter, so this complies. First character is 1, and the second, I'm going to say the size is 6, but if I make it as 5, it would not comply. I would need to make it as minimum of 6 characters. If I do an F2 and try to edit this, this is not going to consider because the first character is neither 1 nor 2. So that's what we can ensure that our contents are won't less than equal to 2 would allow negative. If you take a negative, the first character would be minus, and minus would again not match the condition. So Noel, that's what is the constraint there. That's why I have given less than equal to 2. If I would have taken minus, minus would be neither the character, I'm going to say the number 1 or the number 2 there. So that's what would come up there. I hope that answered your question, Noel. So I move to the next, and that would be the last topic for the day. And I'm not saving this so that I can share with you all as it is. So we're moving to the last, though we have moved from the hour mark, but still I would like to go ahead and give you this last couple of contents there, because that would complete the circle and help us in restricting our end user to fill the desired output. So that would ensure that funneling technique is used and we have the required inputs so that we can do our data analysis as smoothly as possible. So I have here employee name there and employee IDs. And what I'm trying to say here is when I'm trying to make up a list or content, I just want to ensure that there is no duplicate names is taken. So the best way of doing that would be I just go ahead and click. This is a quick formula there which says count. There is a function called as count if in Excel. I take that and I select, I have to say the range. I select the range and then my criteria is I want to count the content which is there in cells. So this is my criteria. I quickly make close this. I say, okay, the employee name is the first thing. So employee name is only once appearing in my table. I just drag the formula down and I see that the third formula, that is Steve Todd, is appearing twice. And again, Debbie Wolf, not Debbie Wolf, I'm sorry. So again, yeah, so Steve Todd is the name which is appearing twice, but I have another condition there which shows me that the employee ID. So there could be two Steve Todd in an organization, but both of them should not have a same employee ID. And that comes the position where we need to ensure that whenever any employee ID is assigned, if let be multiple Steve Todd or Hector Taylor or anybody for matter of fact in this list comes up, the same person should, I'm just the same name should not be assigned. The same name could be two persons and they should not be assigned the same ID number. So what we can do here is we can click here and go to data validation, and this is the formula. Let me retype for you all. Is equal to count if of bracket open, and then I specify the range, that's this, and I specify the condition, that is comma b1. I close the bracket and it should be always equal to 1. That is, there should not be any value 2, 0 or negative, or either ways 0 and negative is not possible in this condition. Only 2, 3, 4, anything more than 1 should not be allowed. So I click 1 there, I type 1 and click OK. So if you see here, I just go ahead and enter 171640 by mistake and hit enter. It's going to throw an error. Next comes is you should go ahead and put up the input message or error message there. That would help you up in taking the content, allowing the user to know why the error has happened. So if I go ahead and make it 171641, this would be considered because this is not repeating. And that's the way, if I go ahead and assign, I mean say for the next Steve Todd, I have to make sure that I don't give any of the employee numbers which is there on top. So for example, the previous Steve Todd had 293491. This could not be considered, or any one of the above values would be not considered. All I have to do is I have to make it a different value there. That brings to the next topic, that is data validation. And at times what happens is you get a sheet and this particular sheet was prepared by somebody else who is not as expert as you to give the data validation input message and comments and all those things. So you don't know exactly where all data validation is there. So what you can do is you can go ahead and click on this, that is complete sheet, and you can go again to the home ribbon and you have this right hand side big binocular there. Click on that binocular, and once you click on that, you have an option says data validation. As soon as you select that, it shows you what all are the places where data validation is already available. At times you could be into a situation or condition where you have clicked here and you want to know the same data validation is used on which other cells. So we know for sure here that this is one column and this is one column. Just now we have checked where data validation is available. So what I do is I click here and I just want to know, or maybe here, and I want to know similar kind of what data validation we have is available at other place. We can again do is we can go to the binocular, we can go to the space special, and we have go to special. Under this go to special, we have at the right bottom which says data validation, and I click on same. So this is going to give me the places where I have the same, exactly same data validation available. That's the way we can check all the data validations and the similar data validations available. Anybody having any questions till now, kindly ping me. Uh, Somebody just ping me, could you repeat? But that person has left the session, maybe. Oh, they have gone offline. So okay, anybody having any question, do let me know. Meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and proceed further. And that's about one of the topic I was discussing is data validation. If it is some values are already there, like here, if you see full-time, half-time, and hourly and contract. uh, okay, that's good. uh, I have data validation here, full-time, half-time, and contract, but I'm not very sure if the data validation rules have been followed everywhere. I've moved to the next sheet because here I have kept an example. Uh, just give me a moment. Ravi Shekhar has asked me, is this data used online? Is this data used online database? Nothing like that. I have not used any online database there. Uh, I have just made this data, so you can actually use online database and the data validation would go ahead and work as it is, but your limitation is that data validation always uses only and only after you have created the data validation. So something you copy paste the data validation would not work. If you see here the region I have specified, and I have actually specified a couple of regions, and in this particular region I have not given any word which is called as southern here, but the data validation was not written, or it would have been copy pasted there. So as the data was copy pasted here, so the validation didn't work out. So what we can do is we have a function, or we have a method to check up what are the places where data validation error or the violation of the rules have been done. What I can do is I can go to data. Under data validation itself, I have an option called as circle invalid data. As soon as I click that, oh, I'm sorry, I have to just quickly highlight this. Is processing. I could have highlighted only the area, or I can do is leave it as what I have done there, and I've just selected there. This would take little time there. It is uh, trying to check what all are the data validations available there. And if you see here, it has actually given me the region is not falling under this, and the drop down is already there, and it is not in this. That's why it has given. And southern is again the error there. Compute 85. Why this is giving an error? Because I have given a data validation rule. The value should be less than, and then the maximum I have given is 80,000. This has gone above 80,000. This is 85,000, 90,000, 87,000. You have to again notice this. This particular function is not, this particular method is not very proof. I mean, what I mean by that is it's not dynamic. If I would have gone ahead and I would have sorted this content by the compute comp smallest to the last, still the circle remains at the place. So you have to be pretty careful about that. So in case you want to redo anything, you have to do is you have to highlight the place, you have to clear the content, and again you have to give a circle and circle, and it would proceed. I mean, it will start processing. That's what it's doing for me now. You can see that hourglass, and then again it would show you the content there wherever the validation is not there. That brings to end of the session. So anybody having any kind of doubt, kindly ping me. And let me know. There is somebody who has given one hand out there. So let me see. So you can actually ping that. Uh, Ravi Shekhar. So Ravi Shekhar, can you just repeat your question there? If you want to just have, I was just not able to take that. Can we display the first value of the city by default? First value or the drop downs, or this is Vamshi who has asked that. As we have gone through the chapter there, that was in chapter 3, I think. So, but no, that's not in chapter 3, that was on chapter 2. And no, we cannot have a default value set there, because data validation is as in when you enter into that particular cell, or as in when you enter there, post to that it will start working out for you. So you have to do the drop down and you have to take the values there. At times people have asked, and this is pretty much frequent question, can I start typing in, like I have selected here California, I have selected here New York, and if I want to again type California there, or New York, no, typing is not allowed. The data validation is all about dropping down and selecting it. There are other methods you can use by using the advanced Excel technique, wherein you can actually give the default values, or you can have you can go ahead and make a default value, or based on typing just first few characters, like how we do here. It has just filled in. This is just because California was available on top, the remaining has filled in. But yes, there are methods by using advanced Excel technique, you can definitely do that, that don't come in the default data validation. uh, Prakshit has asked me, is there any other topic I'm going to cover for the day? No, I'm not going to cover. That's the end of it. In case of any questions, you can actually go ahead and write it to Edureka technical team, and they would forward that to me, which I would answer. How can we know about the password by which cell is locked? That's altogether entire session of which we would be covering next week. That is one of the topic which is there in the list, that comes under the protection. So data sheet and protection, master data protection, we'll discuss there. uh, I am getting a lot of questions coming up, so I will take a couple of them more. How can you know about the password by which cell is protected or locked? So that would be followed in next session. Is equal to and function used when I need to use more than one condition in a single formula? If you want to go ahead and Sumit, if you want to go ahead and ensure that whatever multiple conditions you are going to give, and all of them should be sure true, like my date should be more than 1st January and less than 31st December, and it should be between it should not be equal to Sunday. So I am using in the normal English and. So that means all these conditions should be true. And Sumit, in that scenario, we can use it. And if you are okay with entering between the any one of the conditions, you can use or. So that's what. Let me just go through other things. So that's it. So in case anybody having any kind of question, uh, thank you, Shivani, for this. She has wrote the knowledgeable session. Thank you for the detailed topics on each. So thank you all for that. I have to end this session. Any questions, kindly write it to Edureka, and they will be able to help you. I would also suggest you, in case you have any queries or any details or anything you would like to learn more about, not only Excel, any other technology or details, you can visit to the Edureka website, and we have multiple sessions. Keep on visiting the website. You would be getting the new course and the content available there. So thank you for joining the session. I hope it was pretty informative for all of you. Hope to see you during the next session. Thank you. Bye for now.